Approve that on both laptops. Okay, so I got this template from like an Instagram account, so I'm gonna send that out in the Slack or via email, whichever works best once this is over. But yeah, so my homepage, which I guess I'll give a brief tour of first. So academics, activities, career, notebook, shared docs, and personal development, pretty standard. Favorite playlist at the moment, some quick links, lists, and I literally never use that Eisenhower matrix, so I should probably delete that. But getting into academics, we have basically just organized by the semester, the summer term. So for fall 2021, and I promise this looks better with the Apple emojis. The Samsung emojis are really not doing it for me, but I have to reconfigure this now to fit this screen instead of the other one. But we can do that by going to card size and putting it on small. So this is pretty close to what it looks like on my regular school laptop that I'm doing video and audio from. So I have a study playlist here, which I'll show you how to embed playlists in a bit. And then I have every single one of my classes and then just general assignment and assessment trackers. So I have these set up, which again, I'll show in a second. So once I complete an assignment, like I finished my French assignment yesterday, I click the box and then it just disappears. So it's not like clogging everything up and making it super messy. So for my courses, I'm very extra with this setup. You definitely don't have to like go as hard as I do with like making it visually appealing and aesthetically pleasing, all that kind of stuff. But basically I have each unit and in each unit, I have like a theme for each class. This one's like light academia. So I have a page for notes and assignments. So I can just have like the topic of the notes, the date taken in the notes. And this automatically creates a page if you're like really unfamiliar with Notion. If you type anything here, like example notes, it'll just automatically create a page for you. So then say this was on like Macbeth or something, then you can just start taking your notes here. Say I took them today and that's not today. And it's a really easy way to organize them. So yeah, again, I'm pretty extra with the course organization. I have a whole mood board down here, my class playlist, which is just like classical music and all of that kind of stuff. Definitely don't have to be that extra with it if you don't want to, but that's basically the setup for all of my humanities classes. And then for STEM classes, when I don't take notes online, I just have some general like stuff that I can use for organizing and mood board, all that kind of stuff. So I think that should be pretty much it for academics. Sorry, chat message. I think being extra is important. Yeah, it makes me commit more to it for sure. I tend to get like really unmotivated in the middle of the school year, and I think having it be like visually appealing can definitely help combat that a little bit. So yeah, activities pretty dead right now, but I just have like all of my main activities throughout the school year for like organizing speech topics, writing my speech, all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, since speech season, mock trial season haven't started, pretty empty. Career, just all the organizations I work with, including like CU. This is where I keep track of all my volunteer hours. Each organization is set up a little bit differently, but yeah, basically just organizing all information and tasks I have there. Notebook, don't really use that much, to be completely honest. I've been trying to journal, not going too well, but yeah, writing resources for when I'm writing essays and stuff, lists of like synonyms for words I know I tend to overuse, stuff like that, and then college planning. And that's where we click in here like my college list. Oh, I hate that emoji with a burning passion. Visits, notes, extracurriculars, scholarship applications, all of that kind of stuff. And then shared docs, pretty self-explanatory, just anything that I want to give people access to without giving people access to like my entire Notion workspace. And then personal development, which this is actually kind of fun. So I have these little study hubs that Jaehi is familiar with. And so basically they're little places that I can put on in the background if I'm studying or doing homework or anything. So for example, I have like rainy day cafe. I like it best in dark mode. So if you go up here, settings and members, appearance, and make it dark, I usually have it on use system setting on my regular laptop, but obviously that's not the case here. I can just have like this in the background while I'm working, some playlists to set the mood that take forever to load every single time. Still haven't found a way to combat that. Aesthetics, mood boards, all of that kind of stuff. So there are a lot of different things in my study pods, but I think it's kind of calming and stuff. And yeah, just good for setting the vibe. So I'm going to turn it back to light mode because this looks absolutely horrendous in dark mode if we're not in like those specific areas. And yeah, the last thing I'm going to show before getting into like how to set some stuff up is weekly overviews. So this is just how I organize like my weeks and stuff. Again, gonna have to change the size of this. Oh, not that. So yeah, again, this is how it looks, more or less how it looks on my regular computer. But again, the formatting's a little bit not great since I'm not on that. But anyway, this is how I organize like every week of my life. And I have a ton of different templates. So let's do, I don't know, forest template, for example. So you can see like every day of the week here. If I'm actually customizing it, I'll like duplicate it and then, thank you, Jakey. And then I'll like move it up to my like current tab. But basically, so it's like week of September 1st. That's not actually going to be a week this year, but I don't want to do the math and like figure out which days are which. So I'd be like Monday, 9/1, Tuesday, 9/2, etc. And then I have places to put my tasks. So I could be like school, and then I have to do like math homework today, or like outline an English essay, or like whatever. And then I have work, like I have a call at 7, I have a shift at 2:30, you know, all of that kind of stuff. How do you choose what template to use for a week? Just kind of based on how I'm feeling for that week. This week, again, do not appreciate the emojis here. Oh wait, no, this one's ugly. Let me not use that. But for next week, I'm using like this flower template just because school's starting. So trying, oh, nice. Yeah, nice to have someone else using these emojis as well. But yeah, school's starting, so I figure I have to be as visually appealing as possible to like actually get through the week, since that's going to be quite the adventure. But yeah, so I have some stuff planned out. This is like first day of school. I'm gonna go to the spirit shop to get some apparel and stuff for football games. That was a cute voice crack. And yeah, that's pretty much it for these. I have some based on specific shows and movies, seasonal. I have a lot of free time in the summer, so that's why this is like so extensive. I have some like study schedules depending on like the workload of the day. So like, oh, not moderate, that's not the best one. If I have like a heavy workload, then I just go in here to like plan my afternoon. So it's like study session 1, I stay at school, go to the library, finish a couple, then go for a drive, might go like to Caribou or Starbucks. If you're not in like Minnesota, Caribou's like Starbucks, but better, way better, no matter what Zoe says. And yeah, so there are just a lot of ways you can plan out your own personal schedules and stuff. So now I'm just going to make like a random page in the middle of my workspace as an example page for y'all. So example page, aptly named. So this is just going to be showing y'all how to do a couple basic things, and a couple, not advanced, but things that might not be like intuitive that I like to use. And yeah, just ways to further customize your workspace. So you can add tags to any page that come from one of these. So if it's like a table or a gallery, which I'll show y'all how to make in a second, and then you're able to like add tags. So if this is for like academic, ignore the other tags I have in there because I don't actually use them. And then property, like, yeah, oh, I just spelled Google wrong. But yeah, so yeah, you can just customize that however you want. It's a really good organizational, thanks Addison. It's a great organizational tool if you actually use them in a table where those are easier seen. I can't do grammar at the moment. So something I like to do is make them full width just so I have more space to work with, and you don't have these like huge margins on either side. Again, just more for visual, like more for, I cannot talk today, more for it to be visually appealing than actually functional, but whatever works. I'm gonna add some text here. Actually, might get some sample text. Oh, I can't do that with the thing here. Anyway, I'm just gonna go like this so you can see better. There are some like headings and stuff if you want to like make headings on your page. I don't think I need to explain that, but if you want to make them quicker, you can do H1 for heading 1. I waited too long to do that, but H1 for heading 1, /H2 for heading 2 and /H3. Oh, don't know this keyboard. For heading 3. So ooga booga. And then you can change the style of your page. So you can do serif, which is more of a like Times New Roman academic type font, or mono, which is like a typewriter kind of font. I'm just going to keep it on default for now. But yeah, so I'm going to show a couple different things you can do with your page. So I guess we can go through the basics of these. I mean, most of them are self-explanatory. Text, to-do lists, sure, y'all can figure those out. There are faster ways to make some of the lists than like clicking slash and like going on here. Sorry, did someone say something? I might just be echoing. But for bulleted lists, you can just type like a little dash and click space. For numbered lists, obviously you can do that. And Notion, like last week, I think just added like lettered and Roman numeral lists. So that's fun if you want to try those out. And yeah, so toggle lists can be pretty helpful. I have these on my, sorry, I need to close the chat so I stop getting distracted. I have these on my like planning pages for various nightly study schedules. So let's say tonight's schedule. I just add random stuff there, but then it's more concise, and it's more like it's less chaotic on your screen if you just don't want like all of this text clogging your screen. So yeah, obviously toggle. Now you see it, now you don't. It's pretty simple. Quotes, I don't really use that much, but if you want something to stick out in text, feel free to do that. Dividers you can just make with 3 dashes. Kind of handy, but they're not really thick enough where you can see them in a lot of places, so I don't think those are super useful. Callouts, so you can use any emoji here. Oh, they look so bad. Okay, sorry, this is kind of a Samsung hate account. So you can choose like any emoji to add to the callout, and then you can change the color to any color you'd like, color of the text, whatever color you'd like, etc. But now to the actual fun part, making like tables and galleries and stuff. I don't use those. If you want to, you can, but I don't really see a need for them. So you're gonna have 2 options here. You can do inline or full page for any of these. I just do inline because it makes a full page automatically when you create a table. So there's not really a need to have like a complete separate page unless you need a really, really, really obnoxiously big table, which if you do, then that's fine. But I just do them inline because I like incorporating them to other pages, because a page that's just one big table, not visually appealing. And so I'm probably not going to be using this. So, but some of the basic functions of a table, putting this in lowercase because I like lowercase. This will actually work with me here. And tags, we're just going to go with this. So we're going to name this page Ooga Booga, and obviously opens a page, but over that pretty briefly. If you want to add multi-select or select tags, they're pretty similar, but obviously in multi-select, you can select multiple, or you can, tags. And then select, obviously, just one. But yeah, you can make these. So if it's like academic, personal, what else do you work? I don't know. And you can customize the colors of these because Notion does not always do the best job of giving visually appealing colors. I've said that like 20 million times this Unmasterclass, but we're gonna go with it. Another really good one to use is date. I showed this also in the like note-taking one, but yeah, very good for sorting and stuff, which I'll get into in a sec. I don't really use person, files, and media. If you're working on like a group workspace with like a lot of other people, like the CU workspace, that might be a good one to do. But again, personal Notion, not really a need for it. Files and media, if you want to do that, you can, but I don't really find use for it in my day-to-day life. Checkbox, very useful. Also very useful for like sorting and organizing. So I guess we can get into that now. So there are 2 different properties that like change the display of any table or gallery, but it's easier to see on a table because you have like everything laid out here. So for filter, you can do where the text box is open, then you show it. But once you click the text box, then it goes away, which I talked about a second ago. So we're just gonna go like bonk. I don't really know. And then if I have this task like completed, then I can just boop, and out of sight, out of mind. So that's nice. Another filter you could do is like, or no, another sort you could do. This is why I introduced this in the first place. is if you want everything to be sorted by date, like chronologically, you can go 3 dots, sort, and then you can do, where'd it go? A column. Usually I have it called date, so I was looking for that. And then yeah, it'll just automatically sort everything by date. If you have a date inputted, there are a lot of different ways to organize that. But moving on to my personal favorite Notion thing, tool, we have gallery. And ignore the like M dashes I'm putting here. I think it makes it look better. Zoe has a vendetta against like the M dashes I put here. She does not like them at all. So it's like your personal choice, obviously, but I like having them there. So you'll notice, even if I put one of the covers on these pages, they're not going to show up like in the table. Like I have, obviously you can see the cover of each of the pages in this table. So how to make it more visually appealing, you're going to go 3 dots, properties. This is your main tab for like anything in gallery view. This is going to help you with a lot of stuff. You've probably seen me going in and out of this to like fix card size and display and all of that. So you're going to switch it from card preview to page content, which you can see, you can preview all of the pages. Like this has like a to-do list in it, obviously. Then you choose page cover, and hopefully there, like you can make your own page covers, which I think generally look quite a bit better than this, but yeah, you can also use the default Notion ones. So how you do a unique page cover, again, very basic stuff. Go to upload, choose an image. I don't know what's on my desktop. I probably shouldn't have done that, but we're gonna make it the Panini press. And then if we scroll down, you can see the Panini press here. So that's pretty exciting. Now for I forgot the word for it, embedding. Spotify playlists, you can embed a lot of stuff in Notion. Spotify playlists being my personal favorite of those. You go, well, obviously you have to open Spotify. Oh, it's not sharing Spotify with you right now. Okay. But yeah, so you go, let me change my screen sharing real quick so you can see what I'm doing here. But you're going to want to, okay. So you're going to want to go to Spotify. For example, I'm just going to do my August 2021. You can see Jayhees right here because I have my friends tab open. But you're going to click 3 dots, share, and then get the embed link for the playlist. It's going to give you 2 options for color, whatever the playlist cover is, and then just Spotify's default gray. So you can just go copy the code there. And then I really set this up poorly for myself, but we're just going to keep going with it. And then you're going to go embed link and copy and paste. And then you're going to have a Spotify playlist in there, which is really exciting. So one of the other things I do, sorry, I'm not stopping like at all talking. I talk a lot when I'm nervous, and I just don't stop talking when I'm nervous. So one of the things I do to organize is like, and the reason I like full width pages so much is because you can put things like right next to each other instead of like in Google Docs. Generally, it works best to have things like right on top of each other, but this like adds another level to that. So you can make as many as you want, pretty much, as many different sections as you want. And I think they're pretty handy for like organizing stuff. With titles and stuff, you can do, there are a couple ways to like change the colors. Obviously you can use any of these, strike through, whatever. And then you can change the text, or you can change the background color. But I prefer to change the background color by going to the dots here and changing the background color, because that changes the entire thing. And yeah, it's just, it irks me when it's just the text that's colored. So thought I would add that in there. And then there should be a couple like other commands that are pretty handy to know. I don't really use, personally, I don't really use like board, list, calendar, like any of that kind of stuff. Timelines are pretty useful. These are like basically like a Google Calendar, but you can see like a lot further. I don't really like the horizontal layout of this, but that's my personal preference. But you can do things, okay, I'm just getting a virus thing right here. You can do things like by hour, by day and stuff. And like, it really helps with time blocking and all of that kind of stuff. So we can just do, oh boy, I cannot type, example timeline. And then, yeah, just adding new cards, pretty self-explanatory. Let's say like you have a meeting here or something, then you can like take your meeting notes here. That's usually what I like to do when I use these. And yeah, I think that should be pretty much it. I'm going to go through the rest of the commands to make sure I'm not missing anything. But yeah, you can embed a lot of stuff. I encourage you to play around with all of that. Yeah, have never embedded like a tweet or anything, but again, if you want to play around with that, that's fine. Table of contents probably shouldn't be in advanced blocks because they're pretty easy to use, but this will just sync up to like any heading you have on the page and display that like wherever you put the table of contents, hopefully at the top of the page. And yeah, so that's pretty much it, I believe. So if you have any questions or anything, I probably went through that pretty fast because again, talk fast when I'm nervous. But yeah, that should be pretty much the end of my tour. I'm gonna go back to the welcome screen because I made one and then I wasn't able to share it, but it's a ton of rabbits and I kind of like it. So okay, questions. Is Spotify the only? Yeah, no, I think you should be able to do SoundCloud too, like Jakey said. Good source images that don't get pixelated when blown up. I like doing like Pinterest searches and stuff. Just because I don't know, it's easier to get like aesthetic images, but I would actually advise going to Google instead because then you can actually see if you like hover over the image, like how many pixels it is. So then you can see if it's going to be like super grainy when it gets blown up. So that's my advice.
There's also a thing called like Unsplash or something like that on the covers where you can search up
yeah.
certain images.
Yeah, I haven't used that before, but yeah.
Yeah, so if you're there, you can just search a keyword, and it doesn't have like as many options as Google would have, but it's still like it automatic. You don't have to like save it to your computer; it automatically shows up.
Sorry, I just discovered that too. But yeah. Any additional questions? If not,
yeah, Lillian, first of all, this is amazing. Thank you for this. I'm gonna have to rewatch it 2 or 3 times. That you're truly a master at it. Yeah, an accountability partner question for you personally and anyone else on here. So a lot of the ways that we use Notion and Notion enters my life is to hold, I don't know, like other people holding me accountable, but not for things that I necessarily asked for, right? Like I signed up for a project and apparently these lanes were signed to me and I get added. Or do you do any, or does anyone here, like your life goals or weekly goals, do you ever add anyone like, hey, at Jahi, can you take a look at this and hold me accountable, like that I'm hitting my own personal goals? Like, do you use it in that way at all?
so this past year, Aaron, who was a 2020 fellow for y'all who don't know him, from Texas, we were like APUSH accountability partners. So we both like shared our APUSH class page to each other and would like check up on that. But other than that, I haven't really used Notion for that.
And you know what I mean? Like sometimes now this is my therapy session. Like I love Notion, but often when I get messages, it's like for things I haven't done, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, it's so I like that, but I would like it in the reverse of like, I asked for someone to hold me accountable to it. So
yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, I'm reading the chat message. Yeah, so you can do shift return or shift enter depending on your keyboard. And then that should keep you within the same like text block if you want to do that. So like instead of going from like line to line like this and creating 2 separate text blocks, you can just do shift enter and then it's just going to stay 1 text block instead of 2. But yeah, it is kind of annoying sometimes. So I understand where you're coming from there.
Oh, also, how did you get a GIF as the cover? I guess you just save it and then put it as the cover. I didn't know it could do that.
Yeah, you just go like change cover and then upload and choose like a GIF from your desktop or wherever. But yeah, I didn't know you could have them as covers or that you could like put them in pages and have them still move. So when I discovered that, that was like a game changer. How do you get the Apple emojis? You just have to be on an Apple device, which I'm on for like my camera and audio of the meeting, but since it's a school laptop, have some weird like screen sharing permission issues and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, you can also upload your own emojis. But yeah, that's kind of, it can be kind of a pain sometimes. So I just don't want to bother with doing that. Have you used Notion for group work? Currently using. Yeah, so I have a lot of like other workspaces. So if you go here, or if I just like tap this out so you can see it. You can see like all of your workspaces that you're a part of. I cannot write code. I'm not like a woman in STEM in the slightest. Oh, I do have 69 notifications though, so that's nice. But as far as group work goes, I feel like tables are really useful. So like putting, oh, I just didn't add the slash there, I just wrote table. So like I said earlier, if you put like the person thing in here, then you can like add other people that are on your workspace. Like Madison, I'm calling you out here. I'm gonna call Zoe out here, gonna call Jay out here. And then you can put like, you can use this as like a task. And this is gonna be like research. And then Madison can use this page to like write any notes she has on research for a specific subject or anything. So yeah, that's my best advice, but you can definitely personalize it. There are a ton of different ways to use Notion. It's super versatile. So yeah. How do you sort your pages into bigger groupings? Pull that as your workspace. Not sure completely what you mean by that. Oh, like this? So how do you sort them into like favorites, private, etc.? Or like, might need to clarify, sorry. But yeah. Oh, and Josh, if you're asking if you can write code on Notion, then yes, but I think you were asking.
No, it was a personal ask. Yeah.
Not a woman in STEM. But yeah, if you wanna, okay. So I'm not sure exactly how to fix that actually. I should, so my only private page is personal home. There might be a way, let's play around with this. Let's see if we can find that. I'm not sure if there is any way to add this to the sidebar. Maybe you could like drag it down here or something, but, and yes, drag Madison. But if you want to add something to favorites, then, oh yeah, okay. So you should just be able to click the toggle list then, and then you can see like everything within specific pages and directory, whatever. Okay, I think, yeah, so if they're within like, you might need to put them in like a bigger page. And then when that page shows up here, you can just click it to like stop toggling. So for example, if you have like all of this stuff showing up here, you could just put like shopping list in bucket list. And then you would have to go like that to see the shopping list, if that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, no, it's definitely really confusing at first. It took me like, it's taken me the better part of a year to figure out like all of the details and stuff of Notion. I'm sure there's still a lot of stuff that I don't utilize as well as I could, but yeah. And then adding stuff to favorites, you can just, there are a couple ways, but you could click favorite, or you can go down here and then add to favorites, remove from favorites, whatever. I'm learning stuff. This is great. I'm glad you're learning, Madison. And yeah, that should be pretty much it. Yeah.
Do you have any feature requests?
Requests for like Notion features or like what?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have like recommendations of features, but I'm not sure if there are any that I would add per se. Maybe improvements to the like timeline feature, because that kind of, like I mentioned before, it kind of makes me mad that it's not like vertical like Google Calendar is, and that it's like horizontal, so you have to scroll a ton. But
Yeah, it makes sense.
yeah, I don't know. I kind of wish there were more colors too. Like besides light and dark mode, I wish there was like a blue mode or something, like all of that kind of stuff. But
Thanks, Lillian. This is great.
yeah, this has been really fun. So thanks for coming. And yeah, sorry if I talked really fast here. But yeah.
Not at all. The speed was great. And after 2 years of working with Gary, thank you for actually explaining it to me as opposed to Gary just saying, learn it on your own. So I appreciate that.
Anytime, yeah.
Love you, Gary. Silence.
So yeah, if no one else has any more questions, I guess we can wrap up. I do want to go on that welcome screen again because this playlist is very good. I didn't make it, but it's like a lo-fi jazz playlist and it has some bangers, so we could play that as people like file out. But yeah, thanks for coming. This has been really fun.
All right. Thanks, Lillian. See ya.
Bye.